Well, good afternoon. Here we are. Here we are with Dean Lee Smith from Gold Coast City Marina, dealer principal at the Sanctuary Cove Boat Show 2012. It's just kind of busying up a little bit. The atmosphere's getting going. Dean, it's great to be on board one of your boats again. We had a quick look at the Alaska a couple of months ago and I loved it. So it's really nice to talk to you about some of this sort of stuff. Like what are we sitting on right now?
Well, Jeff, we're now on a brand new Hampton 680 Pilothouse. Hampton, we've been importing these since '07. Done about a dozen boats now, and they've been very well received here. Typically, they start 60 feet and over, and going up to around about the 87-foot bracket. And we do two types of boats in the Hampton stable. There's the Hampton yachts, which are more of a sporty boat with a hard chine and a performance vessel. They'll still comfortably cruise. They're a variable dead rise hull, so they'll cruise back at your 9-10 knot bracket. But this boat here will sprint to the 20, 21, 22 knots. She's powered by a pair of C18 873 cats. All the mod cons are down there: dual generators, chilled water air conditioning, hydraulic thrusters, the latest Simrad technology and so forth on board. Touchscreen everything, Liebherr refrigeration, Vintec wine chillers, all the good gear. All our interiors are done by Identity Interiors, and you'll see this boat's the first of one of our contemporary boats, I call it. It's a beautiful mix of satin timbers, but we've also employed a lot of fabrics and textures and so forth, just to try and soften the all-wood sort of effect that we've grown accustomed to in traditional yachts.
It's very clean. It's very comfortable looking, and like you say, it actually looks it's quite low maintenance, but it looks beautiful as well. So touch of class.
That is one of the things. The maintenance is a very big thing. So any external timbers, we've only got a very limited amount of vacuum bag teak decks on their actual cockpit, and they're all undercover as well, which means we've got a very simple maintenance schedule. It's basically a matter of keeping up the polish of the stainless and the gel coat. And obviously a bit of teak bright here for the boat show and get the boat looking nice and neat. But
time's a precious commodity these days.
Absolutely. We're also mindful not to lose touch of our traditional heritage and so forth, where we've come from with traditional pilot house boats and traditional yachts that we deal with. So we've still got a good use of timber, but we've just modernised it, put a bit of a modern take, and implemented a few fabrics and textures just to soften that look right through. But look, the 680's, one of its key features is its obviously livability. The owner's stateroom's a full beam king size, tremendously large shower and wad suite behind, walk-in row with its all-cedar line as well. All the luxuries are there too. There's Samsung flat screen LED TVs in all the rooms.
Toys, nice.
Yeah, custom done upholstery and linen packages right through. We feature also a VIP queen size forward, a twin single cabin to port. That's got its own shared ensuite with the marble line, Growy tapware. All the big names are on board.
Some of this development must come from some customer feedback. You guys have been in the business forever.
Yeah, well look, I'm third generation, and at my young age of 35, I think I'm a 20-year veteran, unfortunately. So it's been a good thing, and look, our family's very, very close to the salt water. We know that. Our involvement with Gold Coast City Marina is a great asset, and you see that shine through here. We've got an extensive team of engineers and so forth who are well into their 50s and 60s and so forth, some of these boys, and but their experience levels is tremendous, and it's second to none. Couple that with a bit of motivated youth with my brother and myself. My brother Ryan and I are constantly evolving these products. If there's a better way, a better product, a better system, we're at the cutting edge, and being at the shipyard is a great place to see that and showcase.
Yeah, see everybody's boat come out of the water, you see what's going on.
Exactly, but we see the two sides. There's always two sides. We see what works, and more importantly, what doesn't work. Change for the sake of change is never a good thing, but change for the better, we definitely like to invest in.
That's what we like to see.
We're pretty proud of this boat here, and the new owner here actually is a local gentleman at Sanctuary Cove, so he's looking at he's going to do a bit of cruising down to Sydney and so forth, and a wet Sundays trip in the next few months as well. So
the quick look I've had, it looks perfect for that sort of thing. We'll be testing this boat in the near future, which is something I'll certainly be looking forward to. Get some great photography of it, try and pick a beautiful evening. That's this boat. Next?
Yeah, we've got, as I alluded to earlier, the Hampton product's obviously famous for its initial Hampton layouts, which are what we're on today. A couple of years back, they introduced a range called the Endurance, which is, you'll see them referred to as an LRC, or a long-range cruiser. They are a split-chine hull, basically ending up with a tremendously efficient hull. Couple that technology of the split chines with the new Caterpillar C18 power plant, what you're ending up with is a tremendously efficient boat to run. We're talking about vessels 60 and 70 feet, up to 80 feet.
Look, it's becoming more and more important.
Yeah.
Efficiency's front of mind for most buyers these days.
The 72, 75 endurance, thereabouts, they're running round figures, 10 knots, 50 litres an hour fuel consumption, both engines, which is just unheard of in this industry. What it also gives you, and we sell the boats as a 10 knot vessel, which is capable of sprinting. So when all the other displacement boats are stuck at the reef and the weather's turned and you've checked your weather facts and your satellite communications, you've got the ability to go and burn a bit of fuel and get out of harm's way. It just opens up the various areas you can go to and things you can do on board. Not to mention keeps the wife, the family, everyone else on board comfortable, happy, safe, and it grows your boating experience. The volume of the actual endurance range is around about 15-20% bigger again than our standard equivalent foot size Hampton. So they're a very, very spacious boat, very volumetric boat as well. A lot of equipment, but all our new endurance range now are running the hydraulic thrusters, dual generators, chilled water AC, all the good gear, and we're set up for long range cruising obviously.
I mean, your family with your experience on the water, you really understand what the lifestyle is about. It's great to see products getting developed to meet that.
Yep.
But I know you're pretty familiar with the engineering as well, obviously. I mean, you were talking to me earlier about slippery hulls, and you talked about the hydraulic thrusters.
Yep.
Tell me a bit about the hydraulic thrusters you're
Look, one of the big things we've seen is it's an advantage with the more popular thrusters have become. They've also come down in price a little bit too. So now it's quite affordable to go for a full hydraulic package. So we run the Muir hydraulic winches on board now, looking after our good guys in Tassie there. We Australianise all the products, but we're running the standard packages, our Wesmar hydraulic thrusters now. The biggest thing is with a thruster is typically you need to use one of those when things aren't going right. So one of the scariest things that can happen is an electric thruster can and will trip out if you hold them down too long. So in the event that you're stuck in 25-30 knots of breeze and everything's not going to plan, the thrusters are a great asset, but you've got to make sure that you've got that peace of mind to lean on them as long as you like and when you like. So it's a marginal increase in expense. There's no fear it's costing us more for the product, but what we're ending up with is a far superior product and peace of mind boating, which is everything for these buyers.
I can speak for experience on that. I had to play with some hydraulic thrusters early last week on another vessel, and it doesn't really compare, to be honest. You could just about drive the boat home on the thrusters. Very impressive.
Well, this boat here is quite remarkable. The torque they put towards, they're 33 horsepower each, so it's go and grab a 40 Mercury and put it on wide open throttle, you'll see it. They push a bit of water. But you couple that with, again, our hydraulic trim tabs, the hydraulic swim platforms we're using, remote controls for all that sort of stuff as well. It's really becoming a very user-friendly product. The biggest feature and biggest addition to our range with the endurance range is obviously the advent of the Sky Lounge that's been very popular. That allows
you're showing that to us on the iPad downstairs.
Yeah, we've basically gone for the Sky Lounge configuration, but we've also gone for the full walk round, or as it's called, a dual Portuguese bridge.
Okay.
Being able to walk forward and around that house is a couple of major milestones. We can actually clean and wash our screens. You can use the various products like a Rain-X to make sure your screens are waterproof and so forth, and they repel moisture. We've also got two pop-up wing station controls. So we've got engine controls, thruster controls, and even a horn there for signalling coming in out of a dock. So the standard endurance now in a Sky Lounge configuration has the walk-around Portuguese bridge up top, two wing stations up there, and then the two cockpit controls as well. So docking the boat's a breeze no matter where you are. Fantastic.
It doesn't sound like there's much you haven't thought of.
Look, ultimately the only thing we want you to be able to do is think about your destinations and who you're going to take on board and where you're going to do. So start planning that trip, I guess. It's what we want to do. But one of the luxuries, both with the DHS Alaska brand and also the Hampton Endurance Yard, is that we refer to these products as a semi-custom build. So if you've got a item or a decision or something you've seen elsewhere that you like and you would love in your boat, our team of engineers, designers and interior designers will sit down with you and work out and build you a customised specific item and boat for you, which is something that most other manufacturers can't offer. We work with everybody to make sure that the items being upgraded are practical, are going to work and not going to affect resale too much. But there's a lot of personalisations on this boat versus the next one.
So if I walked through the door of Gold Coast City Marina tomorrow and I was interested in this vessel and you didn't have one in stock, what sort of time frame would we be
Lead times vary. Right now we've got two 72 Endurances in build, which are both sold. I've ordered a third one as a stock boat, which is available at this stage. The sister ship to this boat, which will be a 70-foot Hampton in a Skylage configuration, it's available. But you're looking at round figures between 11 months and 18 months, depending on build times and lead times.
It's not a long wait for a present like this, though. Well, Dean, thanks so much for your time today.
Most welcome.
Really good to spend time with people who know what they're doing.
Yep.
Beautiful boats. Look, really enjoyed the show.
Yep. Always a pleasure to have you guys aboard, mate.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next time, and look forward to catching on Trader Boat TV, eh?
Yeah, thank you very much.